Oh, I don't know why I can't hear myself. Oh, there we go. Little bits.
Technical difficulty.
Right. Give us a second, guys. The headphones feel like they're not loud at all.
Try the black box.
Oh yeah.
Which one for her?
The first
one.
Tell me.
Oh yeah, I can hear now. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, hello. We already said that. Starting out strong.
So today's topics is going to be study tips for college students. I don't get to study that much, but we're going to be talking about it. If you guys don't study that much, it's okay.
Stay in school.
And hurry up and get out, because I'm ready to go. I'm about to be a junior, y'all. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Happy.
I thought it was going to go by really slow. College goes by fast, it really does.
I agree.
Here I am thinking that college, 4 years is about to take all my life. No, high school felt like all my life, literally.
Really?
It was taking too long.
Yeah, it kind of did for me too. It felt like a lifetime if I was there.
Yeah, and then I went to prom for all throughout my whole high school, so I was known as like the prom girl.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody asked me, some boy off the football team asked me my freshman year. I was like, "Are you playing with me?" Because yeah, like it was just real crazy. So I was known for being the prom girl. A lot of money to spend, but guess what? I recycled dresses.
There you go.
I did. I recycled one dress.
We should do like crown tips or something. Oh, well, that's not really. But anyways, study skill number 1. Master the art of note-taking. It happens to everyone. We think we'll remember something. It's too important to forget. But we get inundated with so much other stuff. Cat videos, a silly fight in the family. And even if you take notes, it doesn't mean that you're doing it effectively. It's important to get familiar with note-taking strategies and finding the one that best fits you. Some of these include paying attention to bold-faced words and headings, rewording main ideas into concepts that are easily understood, being attentive to captions, using different modes of note-taking, including highlighters, sticky notes, index cards, graphs, cards, diagrams. You get the picture. I think, yes, we all think that. We always think, oh, I'm going to remember this, it's in bold, or whatever. But, like, sometimes along with the note-taking, you have to kind of, like, if you take notes in class, you might have to, like, interpret them on your own and do something with them, rather than just, like, read them.
Right, and what I do is, because some of the notes, I feel like professors in college, they'll be talking, but have the notes on the board, and then whatever they said when they were talking, they'll put on the test. Yeah, it's like, well, this is what you said in the notes, so why? I usually write down both. Or like as they're talking and they say specific things, I'll write down that, because I'm like, this is what he said, so I'm going to write it down.
That's a great way of looking at things, because I've had times where I've had professors have like a visual aid. It's not so much like a note slide thing, but they'll have a visual aid and they'll be just talking or something. And I won't quite get what they're saying, so definitely write what they're saying as well. The second study skill is use mind maps. A mind map is a kind of framework. It's a way of helping you organize, visualize, and summarize what you're learning. Its purpose is to give you a better way to store information on one page. Many topics can be studied and revised easier and more meaningfully by making a mind map. Many people find that visual elements help them retain information better in their studies, and if you're one of them, I would recommend using this. They can be made by hand or using a special program on the computer. You can use it to take notes in class, find main ideas, revise for an exam, and brainstorm ideas. I've done this before.
I've never heard of that before.
I've done it for like a project, but to be honest, it doesn't like suit me for my study needs. But if you're like someone that wants to see the big picture topic that's going to be on a test or something,
right,
and like they break it down similarly, like with like those little offshoot topics that professors talk about, this may be for you, but for me, I'm just like,
yeah, I've never heard of a mind map before. I'm going to look into that though. So our third skill is read to yourself out loud. Some people memorize best through sound. If you identify yourself as one of them, try reading to yourself, your course materials out loud. You can read to yourself out loud at home, or you can also record yourself and then take the recording and listen to it in the car or on the train or walking, wherever you are, bike riding, whatever, working out. Sometimes you need to hear things more than once to fully remember it or understand. I highly recommend this. I haven't tried it yet, but I know reading out loud, I remember certain things, especially when it comes to books, because I'm not a reader, but yeah.
Index cards. When I was studying for my last religion test, I used index cards, and the ones that I just could not get, I started reading to myself out loud. And somehow, come test time, I figured it out. So
Right.
it's just like listening to it. It's just another way of reminding yourself. Because reading sometimes gets boring and your brain just like wanders off and you hear it. Might be more concrete. I'm sure it depends on the person.
So our next one is teach others. A great way to get a deep understanding of new materials is by teaching it to others. If you have a friend you can study with, perhaps even someone who's having challenges with their material, you can offer them to study together. When you teach others, you get a chance to better understand materials yourself. You need to answer questions that make you go deep, to make you better. Wait, what? You need to answer questions that make you go deeper, figuring out problems you didn't even realize the material presented. Listen, today my reading is off. I'm like, wait, what?
Moving on. Number 5 is improve your time management skills. Many students feel like time is managing them. They're torn between attending classes, going to work, getting stuck in traffic, taking care of family members, running errands, and whatever else you find yourself doing. It can get overwhelming, and it's easy to get to a breaking point. So plan ahead. You know, like if you find yourself in an unplanned situation, you don't want to get caught with your pants down, because sometimes in college you have other people depending on you, and we just really suck to be prepared. So yes, definitely plan ahead in every which way you can, and don't ever think, oh well, if I plan ahead, like it won't matter. It could. So there you go.
Actually, speaking about planning ahead, it was a girl where I live at. She goes to college and she finished like all her class stuff, and school isn't even up yet. Yeah. She was like she didn't go to like no like parties or anything like that. She didn't have to work, so all her time that she had free, she ended up doing stuff ahead of time and like getting materials from like her professor to do it ahead of time. So she's basically just chilling, waiting for like the final exam, like the tests.
Wow.
Yeah.
When we come back, more discussions on note taking. But she's really done, like, is done. Just the
Yeah,
test.
she's just waiting for like finals, which
I
is
know
good to me.
I have like a couple of things and then my tests. So I guess like
And we'll be back, guys.
oh, hello. Hi. Hey.
And we're back.
Yes.
So our next one is find the study techniques that work for you. There are many techniques and skills that you can adopt. Adapt. Yeah. That means an A.
Monica.
Start with picking a few you think will work best for you. Try them a month and see how they work for you, or probably 2 weeks. If you don't feel an improvement, you can always try something different later. Keep experimenting until you find what brings the best results. And I definitely recommend that.
Yeah, trial and error. Alright. Good notes equals good grades. The correlation between good notes and good study habits is
I object.
Why, you just be guessing or something?
No, I just, like I said, the professors be like switching stuff up.
Oh, you're right.
They be having like different stuff on the test that they talk about in the notes, or that they had in their notes for us to write down. I just be like, yo, this is not what your notes said.
I feel that. I've had a couple
like,
where I'm like,
what are you doing? They're trying to mix us up and stuff. That's not what you wrote. But anyway, continue.
as I was saying. However, taking good notes doesn't come naturally to everyone. The trick is to record the key points of the lecture or textbook without writing too much extraneous information. If you're worried you're missing important details, feel free to ask your professor during office hours. Many students also record lectures so they can listen to them to verify their notes. But you have to get permission from your professors, because I have had some professors say, I do not want to be recorded. So you have to be very, vigilant. I feel like that was one. You want to read that one off? Start it off.
Oh, that's organized.
That's
Organized.
ASMR. Are we doing that? Can we do that next class?
No, we can do the one after that one. Because the next one I really want to be serious about.
I would
We
enjoy that.
really talk about it. But anyway, stay organized. Keep a detailed calendar, I was about to say calculator, with you at all commitments, including classwork, social events, and extracurricular activities. That's a long word. This way you can block out time each day to study. Where am I going? And organizing your materials is also one of the most important study tips for college students. Using sticky notes to remember important textbook pages, keep your returned assignments, and make flashcards for key terms. You'll thank yourself come exam time, which I do keep sticky notes. And I know that they have like the super small, not the actual sticky notes, but they do stick. It looks like a sticky note. It's just for like the books. What you're talking about? Yeah, the little tab stickies that you put in the books. I see the professors use those all the time because I'm just be like, what the hell do they got all this stuff for? But yeah, I definitely recommend that. Or if it's your book and you own it, just use a highlighter. I just did that actually. It helped out a whole lot. Because when you go back and you're like writing a paper about the book, you can just go back in the book.
Well, what I try to do is get the online version of the book because a lot of times there's a highlight feature already in it. Like I've done it through Google Play Store, and then I got one this semester that was like from an all new site. I've never really used it before, but it's good. Like you can annotate and stuff like that, so that'll be helpful for studying too.
So your next one, unplug and reconnect. This can be tricky since most students use their computers for virtually all of their homework. Still, the internet is the worst distraction there is, and limiting time on it is one of the best study tips for college students. Try to set boundaries for yourself. For example, no Facebook during class or study time. I just had to read a whole book. It was 150 pages, but I turned my phone off until I got finished. Because I was going to put it on airplane mode, and then I was like, no, because I'm still going to look at it.
Right.
So I text everybody, I'm like, I'm turning my phone off until I finish this book. I started at like 10 o'clock, and then I got done at like 5. Yeah, it takes me a while. I don't like to read. I hate reading. And in high school, we didn't have to read because we didn't have books. Yeah. So coming to college was kind of like weird for me. Well, first starting out, because I'm like, we gotta read these. I'm like, are you sure we gotta read all of that?
Oh,
you said 2 chapters? That's a lot.
That's all we did was read. So coming here, I was like, there's not that much. Like I haven't really had many classes where I've had to like straight up read a book. Like I had my English class.
I mean, I had to read a book in like probably 1 or 2 of my classes in high school, but we were like, it was just like, read this chapter. Yeah. And the chapter was like 4 or 5 pages. That was it. But we did not have to read like, read page 1 to 100. Like, why am I reading 100 pages? But whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes it'd be like that, but just take your time with that stuff. All right, next one, don't cram. It's tempting to go put off your studying until last minute, but you're much less likely to retain information this way. Good study habits come from pacing yourself. Try to study a little bit each day rather than saving it all for the week before the exam. It'll help you ward off exhaustion and remember what you learned. Yes, I do it in like halves. So if the teacher gives you a study guide, I take 50% of it and do it right away, and then 50% of it as like the time gets a little closer. So if it's like a week before, then I do it like a couple days. Like the first day that I get the study guide, the second day, then I give myself a break, then I keep going back to it. That's like worked for me so far. I'm sure everyone's different, but yes, definitely don't cram because then you're stressed and you're feeling like sweaty and you get like spicy armpits the day before.
Oh my god, she said spicy armpits.
Retweet if you feel me there. Spicy armpits. No one knows what I'm talking about?
Oh Lord.
Alright.
No, because I love deodorant.
I love deodorant too. What you trying to say? I love deodorant.
No, like I put so much deodorant on in the day. I don't know, for my armpits to be spicy. I like that term. I'm about to use that, spicy armpits.
Please do. I saw it on Twitter. I can't take credit for it.
Oh, I was about to say, bye Monica, but
nope. I don't know who it was though, so you know what? I'll take credit because maybe I can make some money.
So our next one is don't overstudy. For most students, overstudying seems, and probably is, impossible. But if you're the sort of person who cramps out in the library, camps out. I don't know where I got that R
Whoever
from.
does that.
But anyway, actually, some people do that. I can't sit in the library that long though. But yeah, you might be doing more homework than you need to. Among studying tips for college students, time management is one of the most essential. Make sure you're studying the key ideas of each lecture or textbook chapter and avoid absorbing useless information. If you're not sure, meet with your professor to make sure you're practicing and practicing good study habits.
Well, when we come back, we're gonna continue on this little journey that we're on. So, okay, all right.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
In
3, 2, 1. Say no. You know what? 2 minutes goes by really fast now. I think that we've been talking about everything in the world. It seems like somebody's about to walk in.
I hope not.
Oh, never mind. Maybe it just looked like it. But anyway, about don't overstudying. Technically, you're supposed to study for 30 minutes, so that way you can actually remember everything that you just studied or whatever section you just studied. It was scientifically proven that if you study over 30 minutes or whatever, that you have a hard time remembering what you just studied because it's so much damage. It's so much information.
Damage. It's so much damage to your brain. That's what we're saying. Don't overstudy, kids. Study just enough.
I had a blank moment.
You had a senior moment in here. You're not seniors.
I'm losing my brain. I feel like it.
Oh yeah, mine's gone.
Oops. Hold up. Where are we?
Hold up. Wait a second.
Find your zone.
Zone. Yes, your zone.
I need to find my zone right now. Sounds like a great idea.
It's everyone has their perfect study environment. For some, it's a quiet reading room, while others prefer the bustle of a coffee shop. Some like to listen to music while they study, and some like complete silence. Try a few different kinds of environment and see what works for you. I like studying in my room or the library, and I always have music in my ears. I have music in my ears, period, all the time. But like,
I do meditation music. That I could study with. Because it's just like the music. It's just like an instrumental. So I'm not, because I feel like if I put music on, I'm going to be singing instead of actually studying.
I've never found one station that has like words on it, except for, it's called lo-fi, like hip hop. It's kind of like calmer beats, but if it's like Bad and Bougie or something like that, like I'm too busy singing along to be bothered with anything I'm trying to do, so. For real. So
our next one is take a break, which we all need. Really? You earned it. Take a... Now, I don't feel like that was supposed to be like that. It probably was supposed to be, no, really, you've earned it. But anyway.
You've earned it. Like that.
Take a 10-minute break every hour or so. Listen, my 10 minutes turned into like the whole hour. But take a 10-minute break every hour or so. Ooh. Try to take a day or 2 per week if you can. It'll help you stay energized and at peak mental condition. Given how easy it is to become overwhelmed in college, this is probably the most important of our study tips for college students, which some professors really don't care if we,
Yeah, they don't.
Right. And I'm a mom, so imagine that. I have to study and take care of a little person. Like, my life is very hectic, okay? So, I be feeling like I need to switch lives with regular college students. Not regular, but like people that don't have kids. Because they be like, I'm so stressed out, I have this paper due. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're not stressed out. I'm stressed out. I have a paper due, and I have a 3-year-old that I have to take care of. And I have to go pick him up, come home, cook dinner. And then I have to find some type of time to study. Like, yeah. So imagine that, people.
No, wait.
For real. And he peed on himself twice yesterday. I was so upset. But anyway, back to college.
So I think we finished up that little bit about study tips. Now we're moving into, this one's nice. Treat yourself. Rewards are well rewarded. If you give yourself something to look forward to, say a 5-minute walk after each chapter.
Right.
I'm sorry, no. Maybe like a gummy bear or something. Yeah, that's usually my cup of tea. Or maybe like talking, I don't know, to your parents on the phone. Give yourself a break though, because you will drive yourself crazy.
Right, and these are a little bit different. So this one says everyone knows the usual tips and tricks to studying, but you're seemingly out of luck if they don't work for you. Not everyone is the same, which means that people learn differently as individuals. Sometimes you need that extra push or reward, or perhaps to even trick yourself into studying. Some you've heard the opposite. Maybe you think you're conventional because they work for you, but if your norms aren't working, why not give these tips a try? And the first one was treat yourself. The second one is to study alone. Whether deciding to study alone or with a group is helpful is relative and depends on both the group and the individual. You need to determine whether or not the group is productive and how you study best to decide if this tip is for you. So, I usually study by myself, not unless I have a huge exam coming up, and then I'll usually like do the index cards, like Monica said, and I'll like write stuff on there, and I'll have somebody like quiz me on it. So that way I can get some stuff done.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be real with you. Did you do much during exams? Because I wanted to talk about that one.
No, I didn't do that. I was on the next one was study in bed.
Oh yeah, don't think that's a very good tip because
you know what? I do most of my studying. Listen, this is what I do. So it says study in bed, guys. It says if it's the last thing you see before you go to bed and the first thing you see as you get up, it'll likely soak in. No guarantees here, but it's definitely worth a try. So when I was doing my reading and stuff, I read in the bed. I'll read in the bed, and if I have to like do a paper and stuff, I'll do my paper in the bed too. I never sit at my desk. It's very rare that I sit at my desk, because if I do, I'll get tired. If I'm in the bed, I'll get tired too, depending on the time and when I started. Like if I start at 8 o'clock, I probably won't get sleepy until like 11. So there I have like 3 hours of working and like studying or doing whatever I'm doing. I'm actually getting stuff done. So I won't get sleepy until after that. But that is the last thing that I see at night. And then in the morning I wake up and it's there again. Like, oh, this is where I was on my paper. Or, oh, I remember reading this last chapter and this is what happened in the chapter. So for me, the study in bed thing, it makes some sort of sense, I guess.
I just feel lazy and I'm like, man.
You're like, I find that if you're real chilled about like studying or getting stuff done, it'll be done quicker instead of if you're like hectic and you're overwhelmed and you're just like, oh my god, I gotta get this done, and then you start forgetting stuff, you can't remember anything.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, so I usually chill in my bed, seriously, and I don't even read. I have to read with like audio, or like along with like an audio book. I usually go on YouTube with that. So I'll read along, and I'll actually have my notebook out so I can take notes of what chapter I'm in, what happens in the chapter, just little things like that. So yeah, so that's what I do. I do use my bed.
Much during exams. Ever been in an exam and your stomach is growling? Maybe. That's the absolute worst. They can completely ruin all focus and distract you for the entire exam. Pack a snack just in case. I usually chew gum. So, I don't know about munching. I feel like self-conscious about that when I'm like making noise during the test.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like gum, hey, why not? Something to munch on. It doesn't make too much noise. And if you chew gum while you're studying and in the test, they say that, you know, you'll remember something, but who knows? And who is they? I don't know. Moving on.
The people. Sorry. So, go somewhere new. A change of scenery can do wonders. Not to mention, sitting at the library without any distractions in front of you doesn't hurt either. So I do go to the library every once in a while, and when I say that, it has to be like once every like 3 months. Have I been to the oh no, I have been to the library this semester. Just one time.
One time.
Yes, out of this whole semester, just once. Because that's all I needed it for, just one time. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm always on my
A
computer.
few times. It's like when I need to get a few papers done, I just go there, sit there for a few minutes. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like I feel the need to go there every week. Like, just whatever. If that's your cup of tea, of course, go right ahead. But I do like to get a change of scenery to go there instead of just my room, or maybe I'll try Interlaco, but that's a little hustle and bustle, you know. So when we return, we'll be continuing this saga of unending study tips.
Anyway, we're back.
Well, you know, stuff happens, life happens. So, we're gonna have a study tip here. What's it called?
No, I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Hopeless, please.
Yes, because I like mixed some stuff up.
And you know what?
Look at that. That's wrong.
It looks
Illegal
like-
ideas next.
Oh.
Right. I think so.
Well, life goes on. Study tip. Take frequent breaks. Newsflash, you're only human. Except if you're you need to take breaks every so often to let your brain breathe, so to speak. Yeah, I start to go stir crazy if I sit there for too long. Doing anything, but especially studying or doing homework.
I can't take frequent breaks. I feel like I'll get tired faster. I don't know.
I'll just like get up and then I'll sit back down. Or I'll like text someone back and then like focus back in. Sometimes it's hard, so it has its ups and downs. We
Right.
already said this one, teach others.
And we also said turn off screens.
Turns off screens, yeah.
Oh, rewrite
Oh.
again.
Oh, and there's another one down there. You do the rewrite again. Rewrite. Ah.
So, another thing we can do is rewrite again. You can certainly learn through writing over and over again. Repetitive writing can help you soak up the concepts. Think of those cartoon characters writing, I will not talk out of turn, 500 times on the blackboard. You know what? Growing up, I actually learned how to write because I had to write in the book. I will write neat. So I had to write that 100 times. And that I wouldn't get in trouble. Because me and my brother would get in trouble all the
My
time.
mom would do that to me all the
Well, at least I didn't have to write the dictionary.
Who had to write the dictionary?
My mom said they had to write like 50 words out of the
Oh
dictionary.
no.
For like the first couple pages or something like that. That's too much.
That's
Go in the dictionary and write all of the words that start with A. Like, what? You have lost your mind. They should do that now, though. I really think that. Because some
kids?
people, they write like chicken scratch and they're in college. I'll be feeling so bad. Like, what's going on? Who could read that?
Well, usually we type stuff up, but if there is like a test or something, like
Right, but, like-
the professor has to struggle, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they be having the share your notes thing for $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to share my notes, but like, I don't know. But
I did that last year.
yeah, and you gotta go to class every day. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So,
I could never miss. No, it was kind of a pain, but it was motivation, and I typed my notes up, so I just sent them to the lady, like via email. And I thought it worked out nicely. I included pictures and stuff, and she was like, "Oh, these are good notes."
right.
I tried in that class. It was up my notes class. I was just trying to get my
Oh.
arts in.
Oh, did you do good in the arts class that you had?
I had first I had Yui and
Ugliness?
Ugliness. No, I'm just kidding. It was something else, but I can't remember what it was. And it was like kind of I think it was a special topics one.
Was it pop DVD?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't any of those. I couldn't get into those. I remember because it was like freshman year. Everyone's jumping on those, but it was one with Weber. And I thought it was pretty challenging, but I got an A. So, hey.
That's good.
Let's see. What was the other one? Understand versus memorize. When you truly understand a concept, memorization naturally follows. Try to understand the core of what you're learning and build upon that. Versus memorizing for each test and forgetting afterwards. This will also help you master your final exams. Yes, if you're not understanding what the teacher is saying during class, it is just not going to fly. Like, you can memorize, but then, like, it's just not going to make sense in your head. And if it doesn't make sense in your head, it's not going to come out in exams or papers or anything else that might be used to assess your progress in a class. Thank you. Yeah, pretty much just try to understand it. And if you don't, ask the professor. Sometimes
they can dumb it down for you.
Or perhaps you can ask someone in your class. I always try to make a class buddy. Maybe it's someone I'm sitting near, maybe it's somebody I know. I'm just like, hey, buddy, what's this? Or, did you get the notes? I missed that part. You know, it's always good to have that. So, there you go. Number 12 is important. You must read number 12.
Number 12, make acronyms and metaphors. Cheesy but catchy words and phrases are helpful tools for memorization. Don't underestimate the power of a silly song either. And I like what was that? King Philip.
Oh, Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order.
Yeah, King Philip. What? You know what I'm talking about from science class?
Yeah,
guys?
Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order, Species.
Like the metric system?
Yeah, King Philip likes or enjoys whatever.
Mine was
It's from
Kings over humans over dragons base unit dogs cats mice.
What?
Ooh.
Okay, I don't remember that. I just remember King Philip's.
I thought that
something.
This what I'm saying is from like 7th grade, but you're saying
me too.
that was like high school-ish.
No, that was 7th grade.
Really?
Oh, yours was different then.
Yeah, you guys had some different stuff.
Mine was something about some cheese. Is it a C in there?
Cheese?
I can't remember. Never mind. Maybe that's something else.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like ABCs. You know what I mean? Just make up something else, or use Twinkle Twinkle Little Star instrumental and make up something.
I do acronyms. They don't need. For me, they don't need to make any sense.
Yeah.
Like I'll put it down on paper and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. But
Like
it's associated.
nitpick. So, like, what does that mean? I was in my fine arts class, and so,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just like do anything to make it work for you.
So, number 13, you got that? You want me to do it?
I got it. After studying for a while, take a break to exercise. It rejuvenate. No, I agree with you. I don't know about that. Usually when I finish up, then I go exercise, like when I know I'm finished. Because if I'm going in between, I'm going to be exhausted. Like,
they said that when you exercise and you study,
while you're studying,
while you're exercising, like if you walk on the treadmill and read or something like that you remember. I haven't tried that. I wanted to, but every time I go to the gym, I'll just be looking at everybody else, and nobody else has class materials.
Sometimes I see people only on the treadmill walking. So.
Oh my God, Monica! We'll be right back, guys.
And we're back.
So our next one is relax the night before an exam. If you study early, then you can relax and lightly review the night before an exam. You'll definitely be in a better testing state if you have a full night's sleep the night before. So, what I did was I had to read that book, and I started reading it a night, like 2 nights before it was due. So I started reading it one night, and then I got up to page 35 or like 46 or something like that. And then the next day, I read it in the morning, and then I ended up falling asleep, so I took a nap because I started getting sleepy. In the morning, I got up though. I got up, ate breakfast, and I started reading. But it was like 8 in the morning when I started reading. So I read, and then I took a nap. I was asleep for an hour, or like an hour and a half. I woke up back around like 11, and around 12 o'clock, I ended up reading from 12 to 5. So that's what happened, because I had to finish the whole book and start writing.
Gosh darn it.
Right, and then I started writing the next day. So yeah, because everything was about to be due. So yeah, that's what happened with that. But I don't see anything wrong with that. I feel like if I look at something the last second before an exam, even if it's the morning time, and I like quickly review everything real quick, I'll forget stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Because I'll be a
it
little
escapes
anxious
me.
about the
yeah,
test.
exactly. And you're like, I'm gonna be
Right.
do well, not do well.
I have really, really bad test anxiety. I've been a little better with it, but I don't know. Like when I start to see people get up before me and they're
yeah,
leaving,
and you're like, oh.
I'm like, why am I taking so long?
Exactly. I think that's just like life.
Yeah, like why is everybody else leaving before me? Do I not know this? Am I taking too long? Is he ready to?
Exactly.
Like, oh my god.
Some of my quizzes are timed, so he only gives us one of my professors only gives us like 15 minutes to take the quiz, and I start sweating a little bit.
What professor is that?
Spicy armpits.
So
I'll tell you
know
after
not to,
this.
Right. So I know not to go to that guy. 'Cause I'm not gonna do that.
You probably don't have to take this.
Oh,
anyways.
okay.
Probably not.
Wait, aren't you a comm major?
No, but this is a core. It's for RLS.
Oh.
So.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you're
I
done
think
with
I know
that.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
No, I didn't take that yet. Actually, I'm not even taking him next semester.
Yeah.
I'm taking somebody else.
Done.
I did my world religions in the summer. I did it last summer.
Okay, so then you only have one more left.
Yep. And I'm gonna take that in the fall.
World religion is fun. I liked it.
Yeah, it was okay.
My teacher was funny. It was
Ours was easy. We had to do like daily little things or whatever we call those. I can't remember. Like writings or whatever. It had to be like a half of a page or something like that.
Oh, that's not
We had
bad.
to do those like once a week. It was really easy. But back to our tips.
Back to our segment here.
So use technology to help visualize. You got that? 15?
Yes. It's definitely the opposite of number 9, which I'm not sure what that was. But this is more about using the distractions of technology to your advantage. Digital flashcards, study apps, and making PowerPoint presentations instead of a study guide are just some of the ways to do this. Well, I tried Quizlet, and I ended up just getting distracted on like Twitter or something on my computer, but it does work. I think more in high school I used that a lot. Like you can create a study set and you can play games based on the terms and whatever is on your test. And
so you fill everything in and then you take the test.
Yeah, you can like take mock tests.
I did not know about that.
There was like a lot.
I thought Quizlet was other people make the tests.
Yeah,
up.
some of them are like maybe if you get lucky and you Google, I don't know, like a biology exam or something like that, there might be a study set. You might have to look for it.
But you can make your own.
Yeah,
too.
you can make your own as well. So it's like kind of. I know that like in college more so than in high school. Like you have to make your own in college. Like in high school, I think you can find most of what's out there. But now it's so specialized. Like in our script writing class, how many people are going to know what Act 1 of a, you know what I mean? Like that's a weird thing to learn.
Yeah. All right, so
now we're down.
So one is lay the groundwork.
Another tip.
I don't remember any of this stuff. But
You want me to do this?
that's a lot.
It's like lay the groundwork for your semester basically. So go to class, listen in your class, treat every homework assignment like an exam. So give it your all, even if you're maybe not familiar. Just try your best because it will pay off in the end. If you see errors such as like a bad test grade or a bad paper grade, either go to your professor and talk to them, he or she, about it, or you could just look at it, see what their comments were, if they made any comments or whatever, and then go from there. Like I had like a 73 my first test, and the second test in the class that I had was 92, and it was all because I looked at what I did wrong as far as studying goes and righted my own. And boy, oh boy.
Right.
Okay.
So the second one is start with the right mindset. How you approach your studies can affect how much you get out of them. Many students get overwhelmed by everything they have to do and put things off as long as possible, which just leads to more problems. Stress interferes with your ability to concentrate and learn, so be sure to check out these tips for dealing with college stress. If you start to panic, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you have skills and abilities, and avoid negative self-talk instead of thinking I'll never be able to do this. Try telling yourself, I'm getting it started now, so at least some of this will get done. So yeah, I would definitely do that. I don't do the negative self-talk thing. I'm just, when it comes to like reading a whole book, that's like where I like break down. Like I cried that day because I'm like, I just got up from a nap, but I just got up from sleep, from 8 hours of sleep. Why am I taking a nap in the morning? Who does that? I felt so lazy, and I just cried. And then I was like, I'm turning my phone off so I can finish this book. Because I really feel like phones are distracting, especially with like Facebook and stuff. Facebook is distracting for me, and music. I'm on YouTube all the time, so.
It's just constantly like there's always something going on. It's never like a quiet moment on the internet. I don't know when, or if there is such a thing. But yeah, and then the constant like notifications and stuff that come through your phone. It's just like.
Yes, it's just like, leave me alone.
Yes, and it just never. So yes. Next, make a study schedule. We kind of talked about that. We will be wrapping this up here with our next segment. So stay with us. Oh.
We're back.
Hello. Next week's gonna be fun.
Right.
Oh boy, we're gonna have everybody in the studio here. I'm gonna be sweaty. Okay. You know, these are all repeats, and I don't want to do them. So I found some fun study break ideas, which goes nicely with our topic here today. And let's pull them up here. Okay. So healthy study break ideas to increase your productivity. Meditate. I like meditating. It resets me, so if I do find myself getting to that point where I'm like, I have so much to do, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, meditate for, I do 5 minutes, that's it, ready to go. Taking a walk tends to stress me out more because there's cars and things. Oh, Lord, is there something wrong over there?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just end it right here. Have a snack, I do that too. Tidy up, clean your room. If your clutter is in your room when you're studying or doing homework in your room, 9 times out of 10 you're getting distracted by that, and that's just no good. So do whatever you gotta do. Get moving. Sometimes I take dance breaks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll put on some bust down whatever and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Blueface.
Blueface, baby. I'm not Blueface. I copyright. Don't copyright me, please. I love you, Blueface. Have a nap. I don't like this idea because if I have a nap, sometimes I wake up 2 hour and 45 minutes later, not knowing where I am. So that's just
Lord.
And that's it for these ones. But
I like this. It says ask for help. If you're stuck on something or something just doesn't seem to make sense, you can always ask for help. Talk to your teachers or lecturers about the things you don't understand. Talk to your friends and fellow students too. The other one that's up here is stay motivated. When you're studying, it keeps help. When you're studying, it helps to keep in mind your reasons for doing all of this hard work, like a course or a career you're working towards. It can help to have something in your study space to remind you of your goals.
Yes.
You could also decorate your study space with inspirational quotes or photos of people you admire and family members you want to make proud of you. Oh, the quote thing. I had like I have an inspirational quote. I use that for every semester it's changed.
Oh.
So I forgot the one about last semester, but I think it was mentioning, it was by somebody Bennett, and it was just saying basically that ordinary people are ordinary and they learn stuff, blah blah blah, and then at the end it's like they become extraordinary people. Like, you get it? Extraordinary.
Yeah, well, I read that and I was like, nice. That's good.
Oh wait, that's the one I have up there now?
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't remember what my last one is then.
That's the one you have right now.
But yeah, I do that just so if I'm upset or something like that at stuff that's going on or whatever, I'll look up there real quick and I'll just read it, and I'm just like, yes, that's what we gotta do. Like,
Yes.
I can't think.
Because sometimes you lose focus. It's natural. You have other things going on in your life, not just school. And we're not robots, so we just need a little motivation. I have one little mantra. I forget what it is. Oh Lord, I look at it every day and I forget what it is. But it's a nice little saying just to show you, keep doing what you're doing. It's all for a reason. So, yes, motivation for me is key. So, absolutely.
I like that my
I have who right here. Right here.
Lord.
I took a chunk out of my own cheek.
Yeah.
Blue face, baby. Oh no.
I think I just did that.
This is a contagion.
Mm.
Don't listen to this.
So anyway. So this says app it up.
Who?
Their app.
Oh.
App it up. There are heaps of apps out there for help students with all aspects of study. Have a chat with your friends and teachers or lecturers to see which apps they recommend. You should also check out the iTunes collections page on iPads for Learning, which provides links to Australian curriculum courses. First of all, we're not from Australia, but anyway.
Maybe I am.
Long story short, they do have apps up there.
They should put this in the movie. Hey! Money team, the money team, TMT. I don't know how to do this.
So it says look after yourself. You'll study better if you take care of yourself. Make sure you eat well and get enough sleep and physical exercise. Don't reward yourself with too many sugary or fatty snacks or push yourself to study late into the night. It also is a good idea to make sure you drink lots of water when you're studying. Yes, do that. And when you're reading, if you yawn too much, please stop reading because you'll eventually fall asleep. My eyes kept watering up because I kept yawning.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I yawn a lot in my 8 a.m. class and my eyes get watery and then I think people think I'm crying and I'm like, you know what, I am crying on one side. So if you've ever seen me in my 8 a.m. and you know who I am, please, I'm sorry, but help me. My soul's dying.
Yeah, we do.
And we're just chilling.
Okay, so exam preparation. So preparations for exam. First of all, these exams look kind of different. But anyway, so you start out with what is going on? Okay, I agree. But anyway, organize your study space. Make sure you have enough space to spread your textbooks and notes out. Have you got enough light?
No.
Is your chair comfortable? Are your computer games out of sight? Try and get rid of all distractions and make sure you feel as comfortable and able to focus as possible. For some people, this may mean almost complete silence. For others, background music helps. Some of us need everything completely tidy and organized in order to concentrate, while others thrive in a more cluttered environment. Think about what works for you and take time to get it right.
Get it right. Never mind. Get it right. Never mind.
So it says use flow charts and diagrams. And up here they have, there lies the secret, the chemical compounds in our flavor. Pizza Hut, Burger King, KFC.
Wait a minute.
It has like a diagram with like food and stuff. But it's basically saying use flow charts and diagrams. So visual aids, again, can be really helpful when revising. At the start of a topic, challenge yourself to write down everything you already know about the topic and then highlight where the gaps lie. Closely to the exam.
Oh, we have 30 seconds.
Oh,
yeah. So see you next week, y'all.
Bye.